welcome back to the Sandra's Kitchen. My husband Mike and I would like to wish you all a happy new year. We're going to start the new year out by making some nice, delicious hot soups. So I just want to tell you about that. But first, if you've been enjoying our videos, please give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and come back. We're going to be doing this every week. So anyway, let's get started. The weather's getting cold, and we're going to be doing 3 different soups, only one tonight. And tonight, we're making Italian wedding soup. If you've never had it, it is so good. It has nothing to do about getting married. It's a marriage of flavors. It's chicken stock and vegetables and little tiny Italian meatballs that you make from scratch, and they're so good. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, let me show you what goes into this delicious, delicious soup. We have chicken stock. Oh, and by the way, thank you to my brother and my sister-in-law, Ross and Beth, for my new fancy smancy little spatulas. I love them. So then we have celery, carrot, onions. We have little tiny, tiny, tiny pastas. I'm not Italian, so I don't know how to say it. I think it's called Acini de pepe. But if you can't get these tiny, tiny little pastas, you can use little stars or something or orzo works well also. And then we have garlic and some bay leaves. We have baby spinach. And then for the meatballs, we have ground meat. We have an egg, parsley, fresh ground Parmesan cheese, Italian breadcrumbs, finely chopped onion, and we have some salt and pepper. And that's going to go into our meatballs. So let's get started. Just remember, all of the ingredients will be listed in the description below. We're going to start with our garlic. Cut it up nice and fine. And some beautiful carrots. And now some beautiful celery, which I'm going to cut down this way. And I'll do the same thing to these. Just cut them long ways. You don't want too big of pieces, even though it is going to cook down. Okay, we're going to take the peeling off this onion and chop this little sucker up. This is a little bit larger. It's not a large onion, but it's probably a little bit bigger than a medium. I know that's kind of hard to describe, but when I chop this up, I'm probably going to have about 1.5 cups of onions. So we'll get this all chopped up, and then we'll be ready to start sauteing our vegetables. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a really good olive oil, to my pan. About 2 tablespoons, and that's going to get nice and hot. And then we're going to add our veggies to that. Another new spatula. I love it. Here's another one. I love them. Thank you. All right. The pot was pretty hot, so I'm going to go ahead and add my veggies to the olive oil. And they're all in one pot together. Got that garlic on the bottom. All right. You hear it sizzling already. We're going to go ahead and let these saute for, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes. I'm going to keep checking them until they get nice and soft. And then we'll be ready to come back and put the rest of our soup together. Look how beautiful this is. Everything's getting nice and soft. So I'll stir that around a little bit. And then we're going to add our chicken stock. I have 10 cups of chicken stock. Let's see if I can do this without making a big old mess. Okay. That's good. We're going to go ahead and bring this up to a boil. And once it's up to a boil, I'm going to put it on simmer. And come see how good this looks. Oh my goodness. Probably just eat a vegetable soup just like this. But we're going to go ahead and transfer it to the back stove and bring it to a boil and then put it on simmer, and we'll come back and show you how to put our meatballs together. Okay, time to make the meatballs. This is our ground meat, which everybody knows what that is. We're going to put in our parsley, our onion, our Parmesan cheese, our breadcrumbs, and an egg, which we're going to whip that little thing up. And I did have garlic chopped up with my onions. I forgot to tell you that. So we're going to mix all this together, and then we're going to come back and show you how to roll some tiny, beautiful little meatballs. Okay, time to roll the meatballs. I'm using this little melon baller scoop because it's perfect for little meatballs. So you just make a scoop, put it in your hand, and you roll it up. And you want little meatballs like that. You don't want great big meatloaf size meatballs. So we're going to roll all these up. It may take me a few minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to fry them off, brown them in the skillet, and then they're going to go ahead and be added to our soup in a little bit. So come back. All right, I've got some oil heated up in my pan, and we're going to go ahead and fry our little meatballs. They look great. So we're going to put them in here and let them sizzle. And we're going to turn them over a couple of times till they get browned. And then we're going to set them aside when they're done and finish up with our soup because we add these in toward the end. We're going to continue cooking these, and I've turned them 2 or 3 times until they're nice and brown and caramelized on the outside. And that's going to cook the onions a little bit more, and that way when they get in the soup, it's going to give it a lot of extra flavor. You just don't want to drop them in your soup raw. Some people do that and they just let them cook in the soup, but browning them is going to give it so much better flavor. You're going to love it. You see these beautiful little meatballs? They're so pretty. They browned up real nice. They caramelized on the outside. And this is just going to give your soup so much flavor. So we're going to go ahead and put these on a plate and set them aside because we have to switch pots, and we're going to assemble the rest of our soup, and we'll show you when these meatballs get added to it. So we'll be right back. Look how beautiful this is. We've been having our chicken stock and vegetables simmering on the stove in the back. But now what we are doing is bringing it back to a boil because we have to cook our pasta. So it's almost up to a boil. That's pretty good, I would say. Anyway, what we're going to do is add our cute little pastas. They're so precious. Anyway, we're going to add this to the stock, stir it in, and it's going to have to cook 6 to 8 minutes for our pasta to get done. So I'm going to bring this back to a boil, cook the pasta, and we'll be back in just a little bit to show you the next step. I wanted to just add something real quick. I've had people ask me in the past about the meatballs. They wanted to know, do I have to go to all that trouble? Can I use just the little frozen Italian meatballs I can get in the grocery? Yes, you can. I've done it once or twice. I was in a pinch. I needed to be quick, and it came out good, but it's nothing as good as doing your little meatballs from scratch, and it really doesn't take that long. So if you want to really impress somebody, go to the extra trouble and make your own little meatballs. So let's let our pasta cook, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okie doke. Always be careful when you take your lid off that you don't get burned with the steam. Can you come take a look in this pot? All our little pastas are all cooked up right now. And I just want to tell you something real quick about pasta. I am a pasta fanatic. And one time when I made this soup, I said, I'm going to add extra pasta. Big mistake. It was good when we ate it. But then I put it in the leftovers in the refrigerator overnight. And the next day when I took it out, the pastas had all sucked up, and I probably could have sliced it and ate a slice of soup because it was all solid pasta. So anyway, so don't do that. You can always cook pasta and put it on the side if you like extra pasta. So anyway, so this is done right now. We're going to go ahead and add our meatballs to it. And honestly, it was so hard not to eat one of these meatballs while we were waiting because they smelled so yummy. And get all those juices in there. Stir it in. Now we're going to add our spinach. That's another thing. It looks like a lot of spinach, but it cooks down so fast. So we're just going to go ahead and add it in there and make a mess while I'm doing it. I know when I first got married, I told my husband, I said, oh, I'm going to make some spinach. I love spinach. He says, I like it too. So he was at work. So I bought a big bag of spinach thinking I did a good thing. So I cooked it, and when I cooked this big thing of spinach, I had a little bowl about that big. So I kept nibbling on it. When he came home, he says, well, where's the spinach? I said, I ate it all. Anyway, I learned my lesson on spinach. So put all this in. Excuse this. Push it down. And we're going to stir it in. I'm going to go ahead and add my bay leaves to that. I'm going to get it all stirred in. And all this spinach is going to cook down. We're going to stir it up and let it simmer for a little bit. We're going to come back and show you what it looks like. It's going to be delicious. Okay, we had our soup simmering for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I can't wait because it does smell great. Oh my. Does that look good? Let's come into this pot. Oh, your pasta is all puffed up and cooked, and the spinach is cooked, and the meatballs. It smells absolutely wonderful. So we're going to serve us up some, and we'll be right back. Okay, it's test time. I'm hoping it's not too hot because I have a wimpy mouth when stuff is hot. So let's see. That is so good. I just wish it was 30 degrees outside. Anyway, this is delicious soup. I think your family will really like it. We're going to be coming out with some more soups really soon. This is soup number 1. Stay tuned for 2 and 3. As again, thank you so much for tuning into our channel. If you like our recipes and like what we do, please give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. I'm waiting. I know where you are. I'll come get you. Anyway, y'all have a great night, and God bless.